I have a great idea to test the limits of the bias inside of the mainstream media. I recommend the Department of Justice of the United States form a special counsel that is to investigate sedition, one of the worst crimes in the country, into all members of the mainstream media. They are to look into intentional lying, deceit, and fraud perpetrated by members of the media with the specific intent and goal to overthrow the government, and any other crimes they may find along their investigation. Now, this special counsel will be headed by someone who is anti-media. Let's put Alex Jones in charge. I'm sure he will be very determined to try and find wrongdoing in the mainstream media. And we back him up with 15 political hacks who hate the mainstream media. Now here's the kicker. After 18 months of leaks and assumptions of this sedition being portrayed on the news every day, we start bringing up charges. The special counsel refers Don Lemon for lying to the feds. Brian Stelter gets charged with tax fraud from 12 years ago. They put the Vanderbilt guy into plea negotiations on tax fraud charges into his trust accounts because the proper papers weren't filled out in time. So he's looking at 250 years in jail. So what he does is he pleads guilty to a crime that'll give him 6 months in jail, but he says that it was the head of CNN that filled out the form, told him to fill out the wrong forms. Or the head of CNN actually received his mail by mistake and didn't give it to him in a timely fashion. So he gets linked into his charges, his guilty plea. Do you think the mainstream media and the left is going to be jumping for joy and calling this special counsel a success? I mean, after all, even though they never found a shred of evidence into sedition, that shouldn't matter. Because 12 years ago, one of them didn't fill out the right forms on his tax form. That's a crime. Another one of them didn't have the exact paperwork filled out at the right time. That's a crime. One of them jaywalked. One of them may have hit his wife 15 years ago. That's assault and battery. That's a crime. If any of these people get convicted, according to the rules of the mainstream media now, this sedition special counsel is absolutely correct. It should have been formed. It has all of the justification it needs to go forward. That is exactly what is going on with the Mueller investigation right now. This is the danger of the slippery slope of allowing open-ended investigations into a group of people to find crimes, as opposed to the way America is supposed to work, where the Justice Department follows a crime and an evidence trail to a person. Do you really think the mainstream media will be as on board and as happy with the results of a Stalinistic investigation into them?